aware that I complain too much. And I don't think my eyebrows look good. I told you what I did, right? It just looks weird. I mean, now that I'm drawing your attention to my eyebrows, you will notice that I mentioned yesterday I plucked a whole bunch of my eyebrow, right? So basically, like the part that curves down, I plucked that shit off. So if you look closely, you'll see that that's basically the eyebrow that I have left. I don't have that part. And you see, I drew the lines to go up because I wanted to make myself look a little meaner. I don't think this looks right. I don't know. I didn't like think about it. I just did it. And I don't think this looks right. Anyway, well, it is the way it is now. Like, it's done. Obviously, it will grow back eventually. Oh my god. And I didn't put on like concealer or foundation, so what you see is really me. I mean, I don't have to point it out to you, the flaws, but now I just put bronzer on my neck, so I feel like that does a better job of at least making my jawline more visible. Whereas if I don't do that, then the double chin will look more noticeable, I think. I watched this video interview about a guy in the CIA, or actually a former CIA agent. And I honestly feel kind of bad for him. I mean, you can tell that he suffered a lot. I mean, like all of us, we probably had some trauma at some point in our lives. Whether it's from your family or partner, etc. Look, I don't like the angle of the iPad. What I did was I moved it down into the middle shelf. So I opened the middle shelf because it's resting, all like 3 devices are resting on my 3 drawer shelf. I pulled the drawer out and then I closed it back with the tripod. Like, it's a Gorilla Pod, so it's basically in my second drawer, and it's not a good angle, but you can see the dolls that I have on the top of my shelf, right? Because you can see it from the Genius also. And I'm gonna donate this fucking thing. Look, one of the reasons why I have so much shit is because I also like to please my SDs, because like some of them are really drawn to the color of blood. I wonder who they are. So yes, I have some vampires here, but yeah. They like the color red and maroon, burgundy, so that's why I have this. But you know, everybody has different likes and different things that they would like as an offering. Look, this is a very expensive rock. It's actually a meteorite. I'm not even going to tell you how much it is. Now, if you look at the side, it's like silver colored. And this wider base, well, this is what happens when you're constantly touching it. It dulls the color. Like, obviously, my oils got onto the meteorite. But yeah, this is like some random ass shit that I'll have lying around my house that's very expensive. But people, like, if you didn't know what the fuck it was, you wouldn't know that it's expensive. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have to be a rock collector, a crystal lover, to know that this is an expensive rock. Anyway, another thing I want to explain is my feelings. Like, I feel guilty or negative feelings when I'm featuring, let's just say, a doll that I want to part with. Because here's the thing is, because everything has a cost, right? I keep saying space, energy, time, money, right? The dolls take up space. And I want to declutter. I want to lighten my load. But if I'm spending time with this doll on camera, then I'm not spending as much time with the people who are going to be remaining in my family, right? And I just have so much shit. Oh yeah, back to the CIA former agent guy. The reason why I feel kind of sorry for that guy is because, he was explaining, like, his relationship with his mom. Because his dad was not there. His dad died before he was born. And basically, he explained that when he was older, he got into a fight with his stepdad. And at one point, he asked his mom, "Who do you love more? Me, your son, or my stepfather?" And her response was that, of course, she loves her new husband more than her son because she chose her partner. Whereas with her son, she didn't get to choose him, and that she has to love him just because she's his mom. And that was like, wow. That makes me feel sorry for him, but at the same time, I can relate to this guy because I've told my mom that I feel like she hates me more than she loves me. That's how I feel. I mean, you cannot change how I feel about. I mean, like, obviously there's a reason why I feel this way, and I told you, like, the way she talks, it's like every time I talk to her, it's like an argument. Like, she has to win at every argument because we're like lawyers fighting a court case. But yeah, I don't feel like I can trust, because the video that was in this interview was basically, they talked a lot about, like, liars, and basically he had a traumatic childhood, but in having been brought up the way he was, with, a good foundation to be a CIA agent, like, he was recruited by the CIA. But it wasn't until then that he realized that, he had a traumatizing, childhood. But he was a successful person, because he learned certain skills. And obviously you need to, like, be able to lie if you're going to be having a successful clandestine career in the CIA, right? So my point is, I do have, like, empathy, or I sympathize with this guy because I know what it feels like. One time, I'm sorry for, like, sharing such, like, depressing things, but, like, for for you to understand what kind of person I am, it's like, when you study psychology, there's a lot of things. Look, it's already 10 and a half minutes, so I have to stop like 2 of the videos. I don't even know if like that will upload successfully. But in psychology, you learn that a lot of your life and your personality or your beliefs is shaped by your childhood. And one of the things that really put a damper on my psyche or my sense of self-worth, etc., is, when I came home to visit my family one time, this is after like I was in the military already. So this is while I was still on active duty. Look, I don't like that there's so much empty space above my head on this fucking camera. But anyway, I was home on leave, and somehow my mom told me that, like, I don't know what we were talking about, but I just remember her saying that she wanted to divorce my dad as soon as I was born. And my mom is really old school in the fact that in my culture, in Chinese culture, if you do not marry, I guess, by a certain age, then you're considered, like your worth or value as a woman, as a person, just goes down. And she came from a family, a big family, with a lot of other siblings. And the thing was that her younger sibling was getting married. And when this happened, she felt pressured or pressure to marry before her younger sibling. You understand? Because that was her set of beliefs at the time. And I have to also stop this camera because I know this is going to give me a hard time on YouTube.